I had never seen The Crying Game prior to doing this review, so I did a bit of research afterwards to find out that, unexpectedly, it is very famous for its twist, which was interesting in retrospect because, as I say, I'd never really heard anything about it, nothing substantial enough to really give away what The Crying Game is about, which made for some interesting viewing for it to still be fresh 15 years later. But on a very basic level, IRA terrorists kidnap a British soldier, played by Forrest Whitaker, who befriends one of the terrorists, played by Stephen Rea. Now, admittedly, this is only a very small portion of the narrative, but to say any more would really give too much away. Nonetheless, The Crying Game is very much a performance piece. It's got great acting and writing across the board, which really works together to create these honest and complex relationships. It's very engaging, and that's helped as well by this really sharp dialogue. It's very cutthroat. There are no long monologues, no unnecessary fluff. Characters are very direct with one another. And the best example I can think of this is Jim Broadbent's character, who plays the bartender. And he acts as a sort of go-between between Jay Davidson's character Dill and Stephen Rea's character Fergus.
There, did it again.
I saw that one.
And what would you call that?
That was a look.
Ask him to ask me what I'm drinking.
He wants to know. Do you want to know what she's drinking?
Or margarita.
Of course, these two are falling for each other, but their conversation happening through the bartender creates this immediate sense of distance between them, this disconnect, which is then really contrasted by when they first start conversing face to face, because up until now they've been talking through someone else, so the simple act of simply talking to each other without anyone else in between immediately creates this real sense of intimacy and really builds this relationship up very quickly by doing nothing more than having a conversation. In addition, there's some wonderful camera work and some wonderful lighting, actually. The whole film's very dark with a very sort of inky black quality to it. It's very, very seedy with a weird electric atmosphere, which has this very subtle, sinister undertone. But as I said, there's a lot of great camera work, and one of the standout moments for me was earlier in the film when Forrest Whitaker's character Jodie asks Fergus to remove something from his jacket because he wants to show him something. Of course, we, the audience, we don't know what this something is. Fergus doesn't know what this something is, so it's very intriguing, but also quite unnerving. So this invitation to reach in and grab something makes the scene very tense. And up until now, the scene has been staged very still. The camera doesn't move, but really for the first time, the camera then starts tilting to the left as he reaches in to grab the wallet. And this unexpected motion, this strange angle that starts to occur, it's really off-putting, really unnerving, and really lends a degree of tension to this scene.
Take up my wallet.
And all that's happening is the camera is just tilting to the left, but there's a few masterful tricks like this throughout the film which really helps create the sense of engagement. So overall it's wonderfully directed, wonderfully shot, wonderfully acted, wonderfully written, and even of course has its famous twist. And for these reasons I would highly recommend seeking out the Blu-ray for the Crying Game, especially if you haven't seen it before or really know nothing of it.